Hi, Sandy.
Hi, it's Dave.
Hi, it's Kirk.
Why did I sound so surprised when I said that? Hi, it's Dave. Hi, hello. Welcome to the ADK Rock and Metal channel. Today we are going to be talking, dissecting, breaking down, ripping apart Chimaira and Pure Hatred. This song came out in 2003. It's off their second album, The Impossibility of Reason. Band's been together since 1998. The official video for this, I think this is basically, it's 40 seconds shorter, this video, than the one on the album, but basically it's just a big long fade out, which is what this cuts out. So there's nothing specifically what we're playing these days. Yes, it's 40 seconds shorter than what's on the album, but it is just a fade out at the end. So that's why that's not in there. Now, we've gone away. We've already taken our notes. We've watched the video. We've broken it all down into 1 minute blocks, and we're going to play you a minute at a time, and then we're going to give you thoughts on that individual minute to save us having to play it and pause it, etc., etc. So here is the first minute of Chimaira and Pure Hatred for you at home. Right. Okay, so there we go. So first minute, let's kick this one off with myself. Live show footage. We love a good video of live show footage. It's always pretty good. It doesn't have a huge amount of repeat watching, but it does give you a great idea of what you're going to get if you're going to go to a live show. So I like that. It's got groove. We've got this interesting tom groove that I really liked in the track. Really dirty tone. There was a real dirty tone to this guitar, which I thought was cool. Everything now is like, if you think about modern metal now and heavy bands, everything seems over processed. But this one, just they went for this kind of fuzz tone, which I really liked. There's some weird siren style effects in there. There's this guttural roar from the vocalist, which I loved. And I'm not a big heavy growl guy, but I really liked what he was doing vocally. It was almost like a cross between Obituary meets Samael. It's a really simple riff, but you've got that heaviness, but you've got that precision that Samael gives, which I really enjoyed. So that first minute was a great start for me for Chimaira. Andy.
Yeah, I mean this song starts off with a sort of drum intro, which I really liked. Really good slow, heavy riff, and like you said, Dave, I don't know if there is, I can't remember. But I've got down there was two really big vocal roars from the singer, which I really liked. I mean, the video itself, you say it's performance and captures a live Chimaira show. There's lots of crowd shots, but the way it's done is really, really good. Very rapid change of images and shots, but it's well. There's an effect there, isn't it? It's almost like sort of static movement, if that's a phrase. I mean, it's just really well put together. I think that there's opening shots in the cut with the guys performing, and also some close up of the instruments as well, which is. As an overall, I think it's a really good way of sort of putting forward the song as a music video. I like the look of the video very much.
Yeah, they've moved away from new metal. They come in at the latter end of new metal, don't they? With that, is it the 2001 album, Pass Out of Existence, and they've helped to bridge that gap to what's coming next. So they were part of that new wave of American heavy metal. They managed to actually retool and change their identity and do it successfully. I agree. The intro, I love that tom drum pattern. It reminds me of Chris Kontos from Machine Head from Burn My Eyes. The production got for like a sludgy bass guitar tone introduces it. It's they're making a statement. They realize, look, we're on Roadrunner Records. This is our second album. New metal's on the way out. Fuck, we need to be thinking with some wisdom here. What do we like? And obviously, this is the album that also has the song Power Trip and they're wearing Ride the Lightning t-shirts, aren't they? So yeah, they deserve it. They took a massive risk with this album, but they were able to read the spirit of the times. And yeah, Mark Hunter's voice, it's like a husky hardcore approach, isn't it? So if this hearing this in 2003 would have been exciting, definitely.
Okay, let's play you the next minute of the song. So this is minute 1 to minute 2 for you at home.
Cycle still remains. Constant cluster, bloodstain is around you. Still forget expression. You get up with no games. Remember when I said I was so ashamed? Well, nothing has changed. I hate everyone.
Okay, I didn't have really many notes about this because to me, I was just listening to it going, do you know what? It's a simple song. There isn't like a lot of complex. Like nowadays, when we talk about like some of the modern hardcore or metalcore bands or any of this sort of like those kind of crossover bands, they're all throwing in like loads of technical parts. They're all trying to be a little bit prog in there. They're all genting over the top. This was just brutal, simple riff, metal, in your face. Massively works from a dynamic point of view. So it's all about the dynamics in this song. Do you know what? It gave me a Fear Factory vibe over this section. I was listening to this going, this really does remind me of that demanufacture era Fear Factory at this point. But Andy, thoughts?
Yeah, you're right. It's a simple, very accessible song. You know, it's easy to get into, and you know, enjoyable if you're, you know, it's a good introduction to a band like Chimaira and this sort of genre. This section of the video, we focus more on sort of individual shots of the band members, which I really liked as well. Vocally, there's sort of like this sort of call and response during the verse, but he's doing it with himself. It's not like he's interacting with somebody doing vocals with him. And I've noted down there's some really good, fast, technical kick drum elements to this part of the song. That's all I've got to say at this point.
Yeah, I'm not hearing Fear Factory. To me, it sounds like they've taken Pantera's Reinventing the Steel and made it a bit more of a thrash approach. Excellent use of alternate palm muting, you know, for those chugging riffs. Like you said, simple, so effective. This band have always been about the energy and getting the listener riled up. And the chorus is heavy as fuck, isn't it? And enhanced by those double kick drums. And unfortunately, I wasn't really listening to metal in 2003. I wasn't actively going out buying records. I was still listening to like the classics, but going in more of an industrial electronic direction at the time, darker music. And this passed me by. I remember Power Trip, but I don't remember this song. But yeah, it's got great energy.
Okay, well, let's do the minutes 2 to minutes 3 for you at home. Let's check him out. Okay, so we're going to get a bridge section here, but one of the things that sort of started making me, I was listening to a lot here, was we had this real kind of, we've got a lot of fast double kick going on this song, and it's the clickiness of the kicks I wasn't a massive fan of. So I'm not a fan of, I don't like it when a kick drum's really boomy, but I hate it when it sounds too clicky. and sometimes they over compress kick drums to give them that sound, especially when you're tuning as low as these bands do. But it's a really clicky kick drum style here. We've got some samples kicking in there. We've got this really cool new riff that comes in here, which is your bridge riff. And it actually, we've talked about loads of bands that this band reminds you of. This reminds me of Sepultura at this point. This is like either probably Beneath the Remains era, maybe a Rise era Sepultura at this point. And then we get this main riff in, which to me is something they go punk on this point. This is a real kind of punkish riff. It's not like thrash. It's not metalcore. So it's good because it breaks up the simplicity of the riffs beforehand and gives you a different direction before we come back to the chorus riffs again. So it's good to show some different transitions. But Andy, your thoughts on this?
Yeah, sort of contrasting riffs in this section, which I've noted down have been really stand out, and I really enjoyed those. But mainly sort of from a visual aspect at this point, I don't know if you agree. You know, the Enter Sandman video from Metallica, they've got like the sort of, again, it's almost like a flicker book effect of the individual band members. I don't know where this falls in the timeline before or after, but they've used that effect on the visuals of the video at this point, you know, with the individual shots of the band members. But yeah, over to you, Kirk.
Yeah, you're right. I think at this time, what American mainstream metal is waking up to is the fact, look, if we want to move on now that new metal's coming to an end, hardcore is where you go to get, one, that integrity, and two, that raw, heavier sound. And they've incorporated that in here, not just through the vocals, but like you said, there's a riff in there, which is just pure hardcore, isn't it? It's, you just know this song, you're just caught up in it, aren't you, in the momentum and the adrenaline of it. And you know how it's going to sound towards the end, and that's absolutely fine. You know it's just going to deliver as they do with that song Power Trip.
Okay, well, let's just play the last 40 seconds for you at home and then give our final thoughts on this particular song.
And nothing will change. I hate everyone. I hate everyone.
Okay, so the last 40 seconds, we're back in that chorus. It's catchy. It's really tight. It's a great headbang. That last 20 seconds of the song, though, that is your full mosh out headbanging riff. Thoroughly loved it. And I was just really surprised that this is why I had to go and check the album, because it just so abruptly finishes. And you're like, well, hang on. And I actually first thought, well, has someone done a really bad edit on this music video? Because surely that's not how you finish a song. So I then had to go and check the album. I'm like, oh, no, it doesn't. It fades. But they obviously didn't want to do a fade out for their music video. So someone just decided to cut it because it was just really weird. It was the official video. And I'm like, that's a really bad way to finish a video, guys. That shouldn't end like that. But overall, really good track. Andy, thoughts?
Yeah, the sort of really good riffs from the previous sections are repeated. And, you know, the fade out element, or where it sort of finishes, I've noted down this, it's almost like a breakdown, isn't it? But it does get your head banging. It's almost like a breakdown riff, but again, just very accessible song. Video is well put together. I think there's repeat value there because it's so interesting, the different shots of the crowd, the live performances, the individual shots of the members focusing on their hands on the instruments. There's lots of elements there to look at, and it's just put together really, really well, I think.
Yeah, not really much more to add, but fun fact for the recording sessions for this album, which went on to sell 200,000 copies, they actually covered Fascination Street by The Cure. It's not on the album, but if you get the deluxe edition, it is. So I'll be interested to go and hear how they've done a metallic version of that legendary song by one of my favorite bands of all time. But yeah, this is one of the standout songs, albums from 2003, isn't it? At a very important time for heavy metal as a popular culture concern. You know, it's still valid to pop culture at this time.
Okay, there we go. That was Chimera and Pure Hatred. Let us know what you think in the comments down below. If you liked us, please do like, share, and subscribe. If you hate us, please do like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you on the video sometime very soon. Take care.